This court will recognize Ms. Erika Kirk as the designated victim representative in this case.
I know she's going to be in trial, I think, in February and March.
And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
Did Erika Kirk secretly cut a behind-the-scenes deal with Tyler Robinson? Because some jaw-dropping new claims just leaked, and they're spreading fast across social media. According to these allegations, Tyler Robinson is allegedly being positioned as the convenient scapegoat in Charlie Kirk's assassination, and people are starting to question who really benefits from that narrative being locked in so early. What's making this hit even harder is the growing talk about possible connections between Erika's family and Tyler Robinson's family. Nothing has been proven, but even the idea of overlapping circles has viewers looking at this situation sideways. When names, timelines, and relationships start lining up, the internet doesn't stay quiet. It digs deeper. Meanwhile, Erika isn't waiting for a courtroom to speak.
And are you aware that the DNA evidence that was seized from the scene consisted of a mixture of at least 5 different individuals?
I'm not a DNA expert, so...
So you know enough to say what helps him, but you're not going to answer whether or not there were 5 individuals mixed into that DNA.
I'm not aware of that, no.
Okay.
She's out here doing interview after interview, publicly insisting that Tyler Robinson 100% did it, even though the trial hasn't even started yet. No jury has been selected, no evidence has been fully presented, and no verdict has been reached. Yet she's already speaking like the case is closed. And here's the part that really raised alarms. Erika was officially appointed as the victim's representative, meaning she will speak in court on Charlie's behalf regarding his rights and interests. That role carries serious weight, and people are questioning whether it's appropriate to publicly declare guilt while also holding that position. So now, viewers are asking the obvious question: whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Because in this situation, that principle seems to disappear the moment Tyler Robinson's name comes up. Erika repeats the accusation every chance she gets, and then she takes it even further by saying she wants no other theories or narratives circulating on social media once the case is over. That statement alone sent shockwaves through comment sections. Since when does anyone get to control what people are allowed to question, discuss, or analyze after such a high-profile case?
Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
The demand for silence doesn't calm speculation, it multiplies it. And people haven't forgotten what happened just days after Charlie's assassination either. During a conference call shortly after the tragedy, Erika appeared noticeably relaxed, even laughing and joking while discussing merchandise sales. Now, in every recent appearance, she looks stern, composed, and intensely serious. That sudden shift has people feeling uneasy. The contrast between those moments is being replayed again and again online, and viewers keep asking why the tone changed so dramatically. To many watching from the outside, the pieces don't seem to fit. Right now, suspicion around Erika is growing by the day. The interviews, the statements, the timing, and the pressure to shut down alternative discussions are all fueling one big question. Is this about justice, or about controlling the story before the truth has a chance to surface? So now the real question is this: was Tyler Robinson set up, or was he involved from the very beginning? And what about those allegations that Erika Kirk's family and Tyler Robinson's family already knew each other? Well, because this part of the story didn't just come out of nowhere. It started after internet users began digging and noticed something that immediately raised alarms. People online discovered that Erika has close family ties to Utah, the same state where Tyler Robinson's family is based. Her aunt and uncle, Carla and Jack Solomon, currently live in Salt Lake City.
And you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
Carla reportedly owns an investment company there, and once that detail surfaced, online researchers started connecting dots fast. Now, this next part has not been officially proven, but the allegations alone are explosive. According to multiple online claims, Carla's investment company may have previously done business with Tyler Robinson's father, Matt Robinson. And here's where things take a sharp turn. Matt Robinson is said to own the construction company that handled work at the very location where Charlie was assassinated. According to reports circulating online just days after the assassination at Utah Valley University, the exact area where Charlie's tent stood was completely altered. The original materials were removed, the ground was torn up, and the entire section was repaved with bricks and concrete pavers. The scene wasn't preserved. It was erased and rebuilt. Internet users point to LinkedIn profiles and multiple news mentions claiming that Matt Robinson owns Precision Granite and Marble LLC. And the allegation is that this very company was contracted to carry out the work that paved over the crime scene. That detail alone has people asking serious questions.
It's really powerful because Charlie knew that you don't just talk about the youth, you talk to the youth. And he has put us in a position where this is such an authentic and true movement. I mean, case in point, you have high schoolers, some of them that are walking out for those Ice Out walks. Our students, instead of walking out, they're holding hands in a circle around the American flag praying. There is a huge juxtaposition between what we are providing for our students rather than the other side. And so it's really powerful. And Charlie, before he told the team, Andrew Cipher was in that meeting, our chief field officer, he said, I want a high school chapter on 35,000 high school campuses. And Andrew's like, it's so, so important. And I'm just honored and blessed that Charlie entrusted not just to me, but our whole entire Turning Point USA team to carry this mission forward.
But Utah Valley University later confirmed that they allowed that section of the courtyard to be modified, citing safety concerns and memorial preparations. But here's the part that keeps fueling suspicion. The university refused to publicly name who performed the work. And the story doesn't stop there. One user on X took things even further and pulled data from Google Trends. According to that user, more than 100 searches for Precision Granite and Marble LLC reportedly appeared in Israel in November of 2021. And here's the strange part. There has never been a registered company by that exact name operating there. That discovery sent people spiraling. Why would a Utah-based construction company suddenly be searched overseas? Why now? Why at all? On their own, each detail might seem small, but stacked together. They've created a timeline that many viewers say feels way too convenient. At this point, people aren't claiming conclusions. They're demanding answers. Because when family connections, business ties, altered crime scenes, and unexplained data patterns all overlap, the questions only get louder, not quieter.
But we serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
So what does all of this really mean? Are both Tyler Robinson's family and Erika Kirk's family somehow tied into what's starting to look like one massive psychological operation? Now, even if you don't buy into that angle at all, there's still no escaping one thing. Erika's behavior and the statements she's made about Tyler have been strange, conflicting, and all over the place. Let's rewind for a second because people haven't forgotten this part. Just 2 days after Charlie's assassination, when Erika publicly forgave Tyler Robinson, she went on record saying she trusted the Lord to bring justice and made it clear she was leaving the outcome in God's hands. That moment was widely shared, praised by supporters, and framed as an act of faith and grace. But fast forward to now, and the energy has completely flipped. Erika suddenly files a motion for a speedy trial, pushing to rush the case forward. At the same time, she's going on interview after interview, speaking with absolute certainty and openly urging the jury to find Tyler guilty, even before the trial is played out. That shift alone has people confused. How do you go from forgiveness and faith to full public pressure mode? How do you say you're letting the Lord handle it, then turn around and demand a fast verdict while declaring guilt everywhere you go? And then there's another coincidence that made people stop scrolling instantly.
Absolutely. I want there to be no hesitation in understanding of what happened to my husband that day. I want there to always be full transparency, because what I don't want to have happen is for there not to be, and then I am relying then on social media and other news outlets to explain the narrative rather than saying, hey, this is what happened, this is what here's all of the, it's just as hard, all of the facts on the table for you guys to see, and you guys can see on full display what happened to my husband, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts or confusion as to who did it and why.
The attorney Erika selected to file that speedy trial motion on her behalf is Jeffrey Neiman. And that name rang bells for a lot of viewers because it's the same lawyer who defended Alex Acosta during the 2008 case involving Jeffrey Epstein. That was the plea deal that allowed Epstein to plead guilty to lesser charges instead of facing federal charges that could have resulted in a life sentence. That historical connection doesn't prove anything by itself, but it definitely raised eyebrows when people saw the overlap. So now the questions are stacking up. Why the sudden urgency to wrap this case up as fast as possible? Why the rush when she once said she had already forgiven Tyler and trusted God to handle justice? What changed between then and now? People aren't saying they have all the answers, but they are saying the timeline feels off. Forgiveness, followed by pressure. Faith, followed by force. Calm words, followed by non-stop interviews. At this point, viewers aren't just watching the case, they're watching Erika's moves. And every new step she takes only adds another layer to a story that's starting to feel more complicated by the day. So, if the Lord is supposed to handle justice, then why is Erika now filing motions to rush the trial and publicly declaring that Tyler Robinson is absolutely guilty before a jury even hears the case? That contradiction alone has people scratching their heads and asking what really changed. If you scroll through social media right now, a common theory keeps popping up. Not many viewers believe Erika is panicking because the narrative she and Turning Point tried to push simply didn't land. The gaslighting didn't work, the cleanup didn't stick. Instead of the story fading away, people doubled down and kept digging. More and more users are re-examining Charlie Kirk's history, resurfacing old clips, old statements, and old contradictions. The deeper people look, the messier things appear. And with the trial set to begin in May, nobody knows what else might surface before then. And now, it looks like Erika is scrambling to control the damage and pull attention away from Turning Point before things spiral further.
How is it that you go into young people and you convey to them the authenticity of what is happening in this country? What do you say to them?
You can't explain authenticity. You either feel it or you don't. Charlie was very good about that. He never had to over-explain who he was. He was phenomenal on his daily show. He was just an amazing man. Everyone knew that. Everyone could see it. And thank gosh we have all of his videos that we can see for years to come. But the young students see authenticity and they can immediately sniff it out. They can also see if there's desperation in the room.
That brings us to her latest media appearance. Erika recently went back on Fox News to discuss the upcoming trial. But here's the twist. Instead of focusing on the case itself, much of her time was spent talking about Turning Point and how important it is to continue what she claims was Charlie's mission. To a lot of viewers, that felt less like a legal discussion and more like a branding push. The trial became background noise, while Turning Point took center stage once again. And then came the moment that really exposed how carefully scripted these interviews are. Erika was asked to explain what authenticity means, which tells people everything they need to know. That question doesn't come out of nowhere. It shows they are fully aware of what's being said about her online. But her answer only made things worse. She suddenly shifted into a serious tone and claimed that authenticity is just something you feel, not something you prove, not something you show, just something you feel. And that's where people lost patience, because no amount of carefully chosen words can erase that Zoom call from just days after Charlie's assassination, where she was laughing and joking about merch sales. That clip is still out there. People remember it, and no media appearance can make it disappear. At this point, viewers aren't questioning one interview, they're questioning the entire performance. And the harder Erika tries to control the narrative, the more obvious the cracks seem to become. Well, there's one thing Erika didn't lie about. You can absolutely feel the desperation now. As the trial gets closer, Erika has once again gone on record saying she knows for a fact that Tyler Robinson is guilty and that she just wants this whole thing over with so people will stop speculating and pointing fingers at anyone else. But here's what people find unbelievable. For the last 5 months, Turning Point avoided questions, dodged accountability, talked in circles, and kept key footage locked away. Now, all of a sudden, Erika is demanding transparency and authenticity, like she's been pushing for openness this entire time. A wardrobe switch and a pink suit didn't fool anyone either. If you scroll through the comments on that interview, the pattern is obvious. The more Erika speaks, the less people trust her. Viewers aren't confused anymore. They're convinced something is off. One commenter put it bluntly, saying, "There's no confusion at all. A televised patsy show won't change the truth." Another person compared this situation to making Yoko Ono the lead singer of the Beatles after John Lennon was assassinated. And while that comparison is extreme, it shows how emotionally charged and skeptical the audience has become. And when it comes to the idea that Tyler Robinson might be a patsy, what's shocking is how widespread that belief is. This isn't just a few fringe voices yelling into the void. Across platforms, people are saying the same thing over and over. There's just no way Tyler acted alone or at all. So now, all eyes are on the trial, because Erika and Turning Point no longer control the narrative. The internet does. And when online investigators are digging harder than official institutions, there's no telling what else might surface about Erika, Tyler, and how they may be connected to what many now believe is a much bigger story. So what do you think? Is this desperation or damage control? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to stay updated, and we'll see you in the next video.